What's going on, gamers? We got a lot of stuff coming in the industry lately with crazy news. Definitely when it comes to the memory cartel business that I tried to tell people about before, and just in general, how I also was telling people that when it comes to Xbox hardware, it is not going to go down, and we get a confirmation here. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. The CEO is coming out again and basically making it quite clear. We saw what Valve said recently, what's going to be going on, but that's a separate thing I need to talk about. So become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma stated that gaming is becoming too unaffordable for players. Yeah, you think so? Right? And by her saying that too, she's basically clarifying in the statement, and it wasn't like super long. Basically, this guy has everything here, and it's Dex, who has things lined up, is that they can't afford to drop the prices of the consoles and focus on them. And I've just been trying to tell people that for a while, that when it comes to Xbox hardware, it's pretty much done. And it's not going to be able to recover, and that they're not going to focus on that, because the same company that's telling you it's becoming unaffordable is the same company that has been buying the hell out of AI and investing hundreds of billions into it and making that bubble be so high that you want it to crash because it's affecting everything. That PC company, along with Nvidia, who's also leading the charge as well, and Samsung and SK Hynix over there being cartel monopolists at a level where it's unforgivable. Yeah, they're controlling the market and they're dominating it, and we saw who stepped out, right? Like Micron and them. So she cites rising hardware prices, right? This means that Xbox hardware is not going to go down. The prices that you see right now, it's going to stay that. And trust me, Microsoft wants to jack the price up, but that's why they want to monetize. But nothing compares to the Steam machine, though. That is just the worst. But the difference between the Steam machine and Xbox is that Microsoft was actually trying to get a generation to sell millions and millions and millions and invest into hardware with subscriptions and microtransactions. Steam, on the other hand, is not going to get the same deal as Sony gets and Nintendo gets in them, because they're not going to be selling that type of hardware. That's 100% for sure, but they still lost their mind with that price. Increasing game costs, rising hardware prices, increasing game costs, and growing subscription fees. Competing entertainment subscriptions and the overall financial commitment required for modern gaming are heavily contributing to the issue. Well, yeah, I mean, I think we know that. But once again, remember, Microsoft had these prices last year before these prices hit right now, which gives you the idea that they want to make up from this in some sort of other fashion, and they cannot subsidize. They're letting you know that. Valve let you know how much they're not subsidizing, how much they're going up even past that. Under Sharma's leadership, Xbox is focusing heavily on cloud gaming because hardware is becoming unsustainable. They don't have the install base, so they're really trying to move people to the cloud. But screw that. This is the same thing that's trying to price you out on the hardware and then get you to rent everything and then invest into the AI and then hire all the AI peoples in place and then trying to tell you it's becoming unaffordable. But they know they're the ones that are one of the biggest chunks that are feeding that worldwide. How interesting, right? Kind of reminds me of somebody that is creating all these bad elements in the human beings' bodies through the food industry, and then it's telling you that medicine is getting too expensive when they're the ones doing that. You see, they want to create that in you, then they want to tell you, well, we got some medicine right here, not a cure, because that would get rid of it. No, they're going to numb the symptoms. But yeah, they're playing both sides of the field, basically what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, and they got all their AI people in place. So I find it funny that they're saying the gaming is becoming too affordable for players, but you're the one feeding it, and you're the AI hire with all your other AI hires. Man, get out of here. So Xbox aims to adjust these challenges by creating a more open ecosystem to invite more developers, varied game types, and a broader audience. But let's go back here for a second. And you got some nerves talking about inviting more developers. Who wants to work with you with your layoffs, monopolizing and not doing anything correct? But right. So focus heavily on cloud gaming, right? Because they know hardware is not going to get a price reduction, and they want to jack it up, trust me. And bringing first-party titles to additional platforms to reach players whenever they are. They're letting you know it's not about exclusives. That's just a little game they're playing with you. Right here, they're already exposing themselves. We could have told you that too. They're saying it. Bringing first-party titles. Keyword though, focusing heavy on cloud, not hardware, not Xbox hardware, and bringing first-party titles to additional platforms to reach players wherever they are. Wherever you are, that's what I'm focused on. It's the same thing, multi-platform. That's what Satya wants to do. Give me back my money. He's the boss, not her. She's just the CEO that he placed in the position of Xbox, but she's still AI. He's pushing for the AI. Microsoft is heavily into that, right? Remember when they stormed out and got angry when they didn't get that deal over in South Korea with Samsung and SK? We know how much they've invested into Copilot. Yeah, almost pretty much 100 billion. We know what they said about component costs being ×5 more expensive now. And that means that they're going to reduce the focus on component costs for Xbox hardware and put that still into more AI after already putting hundreds of billions into it. They're letting you know that right now. And that under her leadership, it's cloud gaming and additional platforms. Because that's what Satya wants, and that's how he's going to make that money back, because gaming is becoming unaffordable, and I am not subsidizing for you anymore. If you don't understand this message, I don't know what to tell you. You can't believe in this exclusive game with the market being like this. Xbox aims to address these challenges by creating a more open ecosystem to invite more developers. Who wants to be bought by you? Who wants to work with you? All you do is make people get worse, and then you lay them off. And you take what you want. And they sacrifice you. I would not. Varied game types and a broader audience. The company is shifting its focus to appeal to anyone interested in interactive entertainment, treating everyone as important whether they consider themselves a gamer or not. This is all baloney. The company is shifting its focus to desperately hope that people are interested in their interactive entertainment, treating everyone as important whether they consider themselves a gamer or not. Do you really believe this after the bloodbath that's about to happen and about all these layoffs that are coming? All these developers that are getting shut down, even their OG developer, like Turn 10, who made the OG Forza games? And what you heard about Bethesda? Why would you believe what this company is saying? And the source that got this was right here. Exerto always has really good posts. Good page right there. So yeah, AGN's not buying this. And there's multiple posts about this. I just found this one. The answer isn't to make games unaffordable. It's to bring games back to an affordable state. It's why indie games always do and continue to do well. Plus, they're also really good video games. Timely comment with GTA announcing pricing, right? I have all three. I'm Nintendo biased, but I have zero complaints. Sony needs more exclusive than Xbox. I don't even know their go. Well, I've had all three. That I ended up selling my trading in my Series X for a Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle, and I didn't pretty much pay anything. It was a fantastic deal, the best trade I've done all generation. It's a shame that I had to do that because I never would have thought I would have traded in something that late or mid time, I guess, into the generation. Usually I keep my consoles till the next version of that type, like the next Xbox, the next Nintendo, the next PlayStation. Each of them get traded in for each other, right? But this is the first time that's ever happened because what is the point, right? I didn't see the point. And if you have a PC, you don't really need one. Quite different with PlayStation now more than ever, with Sony making sure, no, our tentpole titles are going to stay in the PlayStation ecosystem, and Nintendo ain't never happening. You know what I mean? So when you think about Xbox, plus too, you don't even need a PC. If you have a PS5 Pro, you're fine to play all Xbox games instead of them playing this little stupid nitpick game here and there when you can't make back that money. So I don't even trust that. All I gotta do is wait, and eventually you'll come over to PlayStation because you want that profit. Why would you want to sit there and lose money? When you think about what they're shutting down, what's kind of left, the Gears of War team, the powerhouse of Bethesda with Fallout and Elder Scrolls, Turn 10 for Forza, the Fable team, hopefully they stay, right? Oh no, actually that's Playground. So yeah, you got that there. State of Decay team, I don't know, I'm kind of worried about them, right? If that doesn't do well. And anything else that has not done well, they're shutting them all down. So why is it that if Gears is still one of your 10 posts, would you lock it into the Xbox ecosystem when it costs you $400 million to make it, plus millions and millions of dollars to make the PS5 port, plus 50+ million or more to do marketing and continue marketing when it comes out, because there's going to be so many tanks around you and you lock yourself in that position? It's hard to believe that that's what you want to do, because I have not found any evidence of that Gears PlayStation 5 port being deleted. I don't think you would. Why would you throw that money away? No, that's profit waiting for after this year, or when you realize your game is going to tank down, because there's going to be so many other games right in front of it consistently. It's going to be hard to keep people locked in there. You'll have your install base, sure, and your baseline, but to make like 550 to 600 million off of that. Remember what we said, if the game is a $70 game, if you sold 10 million copies, that's 700 million, right? You're kind of thinking like, that's what you want to do. It's like, okay, if I spend like almost 500 million on this game, I want at least a 200 million box office profit. You have to sell 10 million copies. Unless you have microtransactions in there, which they will in early access. So maybe they could possibly make 400 million between Xbox and PC by the end of the year, but I don't know. That's going to be tough. You're going to at least need to have to sell 5 million copies minimum, because that's going to get you 350 million plus early access microtransactions. You can get to 400 million. If you sell 6 million and do that, you could possibly make 450 million. But then you're kind of like trying to break even. Right? It's like, hold on, I'm breaking even here now. What if I want to make my 200, 300 million so we can keep going and keep funding stuff, not just breaking even? That's not going to do it. And keep up the cost of the servers and keep marketing it if you want it to sell more. You see what I'm saying? Then you're going to say, oh man, if I sold 2 million on PlayStation and you do the early access different on there like you did with Forza, then that's 140 million plus maybe 160 and 70 with early access and microtransactions. You can get 200 million. You see what I mean? Like, no matter how you have it, and you say, man, all right, I'll make it a Switch 2 version because this engine's so good. You have it on the Series S. Here comes that. You sold 1.5 million on there. Now you got 3.5 million. Now you could potentially make 300 plus million plus the 400 between the other two. You see what I mean? You could end up getting 700 million for that. But if you don't do that, then it's like, I don't know. Third party is the way to go for Microsoft. Yours should have had a Switch 2 version announced on top of the PlayStation 5 version being ready. But this company is so slow, they don't realize you're passing up so much money. What are you doing? No. I'm just saying, like, that's the best thing for you as a publisher. You have to be a strong publisher. You don't have anything left. Your hardware is dead. Game Pass failed. So many games have failed and you're laying off all those studios. All you have left is publishing. You lost to Sony a long time ago. You see what I mean? So your brand is damaged. All you have left is publishing. Don't mess that up. But I guess they're on their way to doing that, right? Who would have guessed that buying up game studios, pushing Copilot into every tool and trying to push gamers to the subscription service might lead to this? Yeah, exactly. So this guy says the next Xbox is starting to sound like Xbox One, an underpowered console. The problem is high top maintenance salaries. If the top salaries of top management are hundreds of millions, how do you expect the studio to make money? And you're putting them on an all-you-can-eat buffet day one. So you're training your developers to be put on an all-you-can-eat buffet instead of trying to hit box office in the gaming industry and say that I need to sell millions and millions. It needs to be this good. So therefore, I'm not looking so much for that because you're kind of paying for that, and then I'm thrown on a buffet. Nah, man, you don't do that. And then you train your install base like that. And then your install base is just, they don't think that much. They don't have high thinking critical skills. It's really bad. So my thing here is that when you think about this company, the only thing left here is, and they're letting you know, heavy cloud gaming and heavy first party expansion to additional platforms to reach players wherever they are. Same thing as before, multi-platform and cloud compute. Hardware, no. They're in the Steam position. Trust me, they want the Xbox console, the Series X, to be $700 right now. And put you on a renting service. And behind all this is the main company that is actually feeding cloud, putting everybody into the AI positions, and then trying to tell you that it's unaffordable, when really the whole of that company is the same thing that's making everything unaffordable. It's not like PlayStation, it's not like Nintendo, and even Steam itself. They're not AI companies, but they'll use it for like PSSR and stuff like that, and to help out the gaming aspect. And gaming is a huge part of these companies, not in the Microsoft world. They're going to keep what they have to make that money back, and then most likely they may sell it or do something to make it a subsidiary. I'm telling you, you can't trust this company when it comes to these type of things, and you guys have to stay awake and keep your eyes open and realize that. But if you're being gullible and you're thinking an Xbox is coming back, that exclusive game is good, how? You can't really play it the right way. It's a trap. And it's hurting your publishing, no matter how you look at it. There's no way to get out of this. I think that Microsoft and Phil Spencer them had the right idea for multi-platform and being available everywhere. And you were the only one in the industry that was actually pushing something like that that actually could benefit by saying, hey, at least I'm putting my games everywhere. Look at the benefit here. Sony was trying it too. Nintendo's the only one that's not going to play that game. But the point here is Sony could go back and do it. You can't. It's not good. And it basically kills trust with your brand too. Like, it's hard to trust this company. You see what I mean? It's like, why did you go back and do that? You shouldn't have done that. It's not going to really benefit you. You need to be as strong as a publisher as you possibly can. Definitely after bidding 20 plus billion, 70 billion, almost 100 plus billion in the sinkhole. Game Pass was not sustainable. All the bad news was coming out. Well, how are you going to get that back? Exclusive? That's the worst thing you could do. Not because, oh, you're mad it's not coming to PlayStation. Dude, do you really think I care? I can play it on my PC if I want to. And I know eventually it might come to PlayStation, because why would you pass up that extra money? Make a Switch 2 version 2. Man, just do it. So let me know what you guys think. As usual, like I said, become a member, leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Later, hit that hype button too. Keep on gaming, no matter what platform you're on. And remember, AGN has been telling you the truth the whole time, and he was ahead of the game. Later.